Welcome everyone to equipping young adults with successful strategies through interdisciplinary and inquiry-based learning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Peter Blankfield. I am a veteran social studies teacher having taught grades 7 through 12 for over 20 years. Currently, I am the K-12 social studies curriculum and instruction specialist for Tucson Unified School District.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Leslie Franz-Blau, and I am a veteran ELA teacher, having taught grades 7 through 12 for over 20 years. Currently, I am the K-12 literacy curriculum and instruction specialist for Tucson Unified School District.
Franzi and I have taught ELA and social studies as an interdisciplinary block for 14 years in high school and 6 years at the middle school level. At this time, we would like you to go to the same place that you found this recording and locate the resource list. On this list, you will find links to a community Padlet and other materials of interest. Please take a minute or so to find this list. If you need a moment, pause the video. At this time, we would like you to open your browser to the community Padlet and find the section entitled Engagement Activity. You should see this when you open it. Please follow the directions on the Padlet under the engagement activity. Once you have completed your response, please take a couple of minutes and review the other responses, liking or commenting or both on those that interest you. Please pause your video for the 10 minutes while you interact with this activity.
So welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that engagement activity. Right now, we'd like to go over the objectives and the agenda for this workshop. So the objectives are that participants will be able to understand interdisciplinary literacy, apply literacy strategies that align with social studies curriculum, and establish classroom culture that emphasizes equity. Our agenda is the engagement activity, which you just did, the Frayer model modeled, exploring the right strategy to build literacy skills, creating the equitable space by focusing on student voice and choice, and a closure activity.
To get us started in exploring the inquiry interdisciplinary frameworks for integrating ELA and social studies as an interdisciplinary curriculum, we would like you to use the Frayer model to investigate the following terms: inquiry-based, interdisciplinary, student voice, student choice, and social justice. We will refer to these terms throughout our time together. You will find the Frayer model templates on the community Padlet. Please choose one to work with. At this time, we ask that you please pause your video and interact with this activity for the next 10 minutes.
So now that you are familiar with the essential vocabulary through working with the Frayer model, we would like to provide an opportunity to deepen your practice with inquiry-based and interdisciplinary instruction. On the community Padlet, you will find a tic-tac-toe that contains cartoons, articles, photos, songs, and maps. These activities align with the tenets of inquiry and interdisciplinary frameworks. Please complete one square of the tic-tac-toe. After you complete this, please post a response about what you discovered on the Padlet. Then, take a couple of minutes and peruse the other responses, liking or commenting or both on those that interest you. At this time, We ask that you pause the video and engage in this activity for the next 10 minutes. So welcome back. We wanted to share with you some of the key strategies necessary for the success of these frameworks in your classroom. Specifically, the strategies questioning, annotation, and literacy strategies. On the Community Padlet, under the Participant Resources column, you will find the Reading and Writing Strategy chart. We will discuss several of the strategies on this chart.
We are really glad you are still with us. The first strategy I would like to cover is the question-answer relationship, or the QAR. You will find this resource on the Community Padlet under Participant Resources as well. Guiding students to discover what kind of question or questions they are being asked, or the types of questions they are asking, helps students monitor their own thinking and the depth of knowledge required to properly address a given question. Furthermore, knowing the 4 types of QARs supports students as they attempt to generate their own questions. Questions, as you know, drive inquiry-based learning, and helping students learn how to ask deep, meaningful questions supports the creation of a student-centered classroom. One resource to help support teachers and students becoming better question askers is the Right Question Institute, or the RQI. Specifically, the question formulation technique is a strategy that helps students learn how to ask deep, meaningful questions. You will find a link on the resource list for the Right Question Institute, which is an open educational resource site. In addition, you will find a QFT chart on the Community Padlet. Please pause your video for a minute or two to find these resources. Hopefully, you have found the sources. Another strategy that supports student learning is annotating with a purpose. How many of you have given a reading and told students to annotate the important material, and then see students highlighting entire paragraphs or the whole reading? I know I've made this mistake. There are several different purposes for assigning a reading. When students know why they are reading a particular text and what they're supposed to do with the text, their comprehension improves and they don't highlight everything on the page. On the Community Padlet, there is an example of annotating with purpose revolving around the Declaration of Independence. I hope that you take the time to check this resource out. Next, let's visit using anchor charts. This strategy allows for the creation of a student-centered, student-driven learning environment. How? Include student input when you need a chart for classroom norms or collaborative working groups. Providing students with a voice in how their class will operate goes a long way in establishing an environment that is both equitable and inclusive. Anchor charts also provide teachers with quick, easy reminders for students when they are off task or confused about what they should be doing.
So we are excited that you have explored the RQI and the QFT, as well as annotation and anchor charts. All of these strategies and resources help our students develop critical thinking skills. Using organizers to gather and structure information will assist students in not only organizing their thoughts, but also producing any kind of writing they endeavor. The organizer chosen will depend on the type of writing you would like them to do. Models of the writing organizers are on the community Padlet under the section Participant Resources with the heading Writing Organizers as Anchor Charts. Please take some time to look at these organizers. And of course, these are just some examples of what is available. SABAC, Socratic Seminar, and literature circles are strategies that foster student collaboration and build literacy in all classrooms. There are examples and guides for these activities on the Padlet for your perusal. You can use any topic, any audio or visual, or any reading material to implement these possible strategies in your classrooms.
At this time, we would like you to look over the strategies chart and begin to organize ideas for how you could implement them in your classroom. Please pause your video for 5 minutes to look over these resources. Again, we are glad you're still with us. How do you create the space for inquiry and interdisciplinary learning to flourish? Student voice, student choice, and social justice. When students enter, do they see their work? What colors and artifacts are hanging on your walls? What procedures have been established that foster a student-centered, self-directed learning environment? What curriculum choices have you made to facilitate inclusion and equity? How have you allowed your students to know who you are? Within the context of the student-teacher relationship, it is important that your students see a person with likes and dislikes, ancestry, and culture. Additionally, Learning for Justice, formerly Teaching Tolerance, has created a set of social justice or anti-bias standards to support classroom equity. Tucson Unified School District's Culturally Responsive Pedagogy and Instruction Department has also created a guide that supports creating an inclusive, equity, and asset-based student-centered learning environment. This guide goes by the name of Sparks, which you will find on the community Padlet as well. The guide was designed to help teachers create environments and learning opportunities that reflect who the students are and the community they live in, while helping support the development of lifelong learners. We ask you to take 5 minutes to review the social justice or anti-bias standards and Sparks. Please pause your video at this time to look at these two resources.
So we hope you found those resources of great benefit for your classroom. We'd like to bring this together. So we would like you to work on an elaboration discovery. On the community Padlet, you will find examples of anchor charts, the Learning for Justice anti-bias standards, and a document created by TUSD's Culturally Relevant Pedagogy and Instruction Department titled Sparks. This document delves deeply into helping to create a space for all students to grow. At this time, we would like you to review the resources. Then choose one social justice standard, a focus from Sparks, and an activity that you would like to launch in your classroom. We have included an organizer to help you gather this information. However, it is just a suggestion. When you have finished your discovery, please post your impressions on the community Padlet under the heading Building an Inclusive and Equitable Classroom Culture. At this time, pause your video for 30 minutes to explore and work on the activity. Take a look at what your colleagues have posted as well.
Welcome back, and thank you for all your hard work. As we come to a close, we would like you to engage with the 321 exit ticket on the community Padlet. You will find the directions on the community Padlet as well. For your questions, we ask that you provide us an email address. However, if putting that information on the Padlet is problematic for you, please feel free to email your question or questions to us directly. You will find our district contact information on the last slide of this presentation. Once you have completed your exit ticket reflections, you have completed this workshop.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that this was time well spent. Once you have completed the exit ticket, feel free to leave this workshop. Know that the Padlet will always be available to you.
I too would like to thank you for joining us today. We hope that you have found material or materials to use in your classroom. Please feel free to reach out to one or both of us via our district contact information for any questions or concerns that may come up tomorrow, 3 weeks from now. Again, thank you very much.